Fresh off their crushing defeat to Liverpool, Man United fan and host of the EPL Wrecked podcast, Claire, joins us to discuss all things United, the Ronaldo problem, and how much longer Ole has with the club before Sir Alex Ferguson literally takes him out behind the woodshed, never to be seen again. We down here in the Rat Tail Bunker and Barbershop studio, and this is the Boys In Bolos podcast. Welcome back to the Boys In Bolos podcast. We're down here. Jarrett, how are you today?
I'm well, Jeff.
Well, you're well.
I'm well.
Oh, that's good.
I know people say I'm good, but that is not correct.
Well, Chelsea won 7-0.
Chelsea, yes.
Smashed.
Smashed.
Spurs lost to West Ham. Always hate it. Always hate to see it.
Just love to hate it.
But the good news is we have a guest this week.
Who's not maybe in the best of moods?
Maybe not, but she's had a few hours to to think about things.
She's had some time to call some people.
Claire, welcome back to the Boys
Hi.
and Balls podcast.
Love to be back.
So, Claire, who's your team?
The lovely, in the best mood ever, Man United.
Exactly. That's a cute team.
Do we want to ask the big topic of the day? Is will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer be the Man United coach by tomorrow morning? That's the question everyone wants to know.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Claire?
I've been on the Ole out bandwagon for a while. I think for me, the very last straw was that Leicester game where we lost 4-2. I was done after that. So I've been on that Ole out bandwagon. Do I think he's going to be out tomorrow? No, but I think a lot of people are pushing him out. So we'll see what happens.
We had James on the last episode, and James says, I remember I was here last year and we were saying Ole's going to be out.
Yeah.
And we had been like, oh, it's going to be Ole and then Arteta. And then one of the first people to be out was Frank Lampard. So
Yeah.
I think it's really kind of always tough. But today, Sir Alex Ferguson's face is like a meme that is going around the world 3,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's upset, something's got to happen.
Yeah,
He
I
is a
agree.
legend. He is the guy. To put it in context, if you're listening and you're just stumbled onto the Premier League, today was Klopp's 200th win. Alex Ferguson has over 1,100 wins in the Premier League. The dude he's walking deity in that place. And if he's upset, I feel like, nyeh. But if you replace him, are you trying to get, because the memes I saw were Zidane, Conte,
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers even maybe at the end of the season.
I saw what's his name? Gareth Southgate. And I was like, oh, interesting.
I saw Garrett Southgate
Me
too
too.
in a meme.
Yeah.
Which, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about it, but I mean,
He'll be all right.
he'd be okay.
He knows how to coach personalities.
I think the question comes down to, for me, it's not if, it's when. Because
yeah.
at the end of the season, he's gone no matter what. I just don't see how he stays.
100%. Yeah.
Even if they were to make Champions League by third or fourth position, which they still may do,
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the United is a team that has to be competitive for a trophy. And if they're not, they need to be building towards that. And I don't think they're doing that right now. What do you where do you think, what are the big things that need to happen? Aside from just taking out Ole, which is not even really solving the problem, maybe, what else do you think that they need to do?
I guess I think one thing watching the game that you could see firsthand is that the Fred and Scott pairing is not enough. That partnership not working out. I don't necessarily know. I'm not necessarily technical in terms of actual gameplay soccer, but I definitely, that pairing right there is not working. I guess also just managing personnel and giving other players a shot. We have Sancho, who we paid so much money for, on the bench. Lingard, who at this point, let's be real, has proven himself enough, worthy enough to play. And even Cavani on the bench, Pogba on the bench. I think just managing personnel and just giving players more of a shot is definitely one thing that needs to happen.
At this point, just play Van de Beek.
Just play Van de Beek.
Oh,
You have
yeah.
zero
Oh,
things
yeah.
to lose.
Yeah.
Zero things to lose. You're
Yeah.
sitting in 6th. There's no conceivable reason why a team like Man United with that much talent should be below Spurs.
Literally.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
It's actually ridiculous.
It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Below Spurs, below West Ham, that's embarrassing.
One of the things I want to say about this game, and this is going to be a weird vibe because I've always kind of been what's the point of this player? I really focused on Fred today. I don't think he's actually that bad.
Oh, yeah. I
think
don't think Fred's that bad.
I thought Fred was bad, but today I was after it was 3-0, I said, what am I I need to get something out of this game. What am I going to get out? And sometimes in the World Cup or in big games, if you're on like, and I forget, is it Fubo or they literally have player cams. Well, they'll just follow a player around the whole field. And it's like not like the sexiest thing, but it's kind of interesting to see, just watch what they do.
Yeah.
And I know for the 2006 final, they had a Zidane cam, and that was really interesting to watch up until he obviously headbutted Materazzi. But I was like, let me watch Fred, because Fred is a guy who I think most people are hypocritical of, like, how does he make the team? And for me, I was like, how is he making the team for Brazil over Fabinho?
Mm-hmm.
So I just focused on what he did today. And he's actually like today. I thought he actually played the two players I thought actually played well for United were Fred and De Gea, because Fred actually won a bunch of tackles, made good passes. Like he did his job. Everyone around him, like you said, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes now, he's on my fantasy. He's not on my fantasy next week. Like he's just a disaster. But if it weren't for De Gea, this game is probably 7 or 8. He had that save in the second half from Trent Alexander-Arnold. That thing was top bins.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah.
Yeah. So did De Gea play well for you? Did Fred? Like, what are the positives you take out of this game? There's got to be some silver lining.
Honestly, I would say the biggest out of it was, I would say De Gea for sure. I guess like now Pogba's on the red. Maybe someone else would get a shot. Who knows? Probably not. Let's be real. Yeah, I did think, honestly, like looking at Fred, I did think he actually played fairly well. I do agree. Like he definitely made good tackles. But yeah, I would say De Gea by far was the standout performance. It was just abysmal all around.
It was really, you know what? I think the other thing, this is why they being like y'all, like this is why y'all brought in Varane, was because you're like Lindelof and Maguire can only take us so far.
Yeah.
Right. And today it was so apparent. Like Luke Shaw is one of the best outside backs in Europe, but when he's paired next to Lindelof, and on the other side he's got Wan-Bissaka, I just feel like, I mean, he was arguably one of the best players, top 3 or 4 players in the Euro.
Mm-hmm.
But on this United team, he's just getting exposed.
Yeah.
Which is too bad, because I think he's a phenomenal.
Is Varane hurt? Is that the issue here?
He was hurt. He was hurt during the last French game. In the national break. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's really frustrating, because I look at that and I'm like, where are the holes here? I'm like, okay, obviously the center back. Maguire hasn't played well this whole season. I thought he actually, even though he gave him a lot of shit last year, thought he actually played really well.
He had a pretty good Euro, too, when he played.
Exactly.
He came in like a couple games in.
Right, because he was coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I think
he might still be like dealing with that injury in some form.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is not 100%. I guess the thing is, it's like, as a Chelsea fan, we had the exact same team, and you sprinkled Thomas Tuchel on top instead of Frank Lampard, and then we won the Champions League. And we went to the FA Cup final. And we beat City 3 times in a row in 3 different competitions.
Yeah.
I feel like you need a change to just put the ship in a different direction. Not even a big change, but something excuse me, sorry. Something really needs to change. But I'm also, I mean, what do you do with Ronaldo? Because I think we kind of talked about this off mic earlier, but like, what do you do with Ronaldo?
Honestly, I think that's such a tough predicament, because obviously what Ronaldo brings in terms of his ability, like obviously he had that goal that was ruled offside, which it was offside. But I think depending on the game, I mean, I think the rest of this month and next month, we have tough fixtures all around. So I would be hard when to bench him and when not to. But I do think at one point we should bench him to see what happens. And obviously we did that against Everton, which I don't think against Everton was the right call, but yeah, I'm not necessarily sure exactly what to do with Ronaldo, but yeah, I definitely do think Ronaldo's a big predicament too.
Jeff, what do you do with
Ronaldo wasn't, so they're gonna get kind of what they intended out of Ronaldo's, and they're gonna sell a lot of shirts, and he may score a few Champions League goals, and he might get them out of the group stage. I think, just based on how that last Champions League game went, they might actually get it out of the group stage now, because they're actually top of that group stage. So that would be a win for the team, I think. But for the long term, because they play way more Premier League games than they do Champions League and cup games. So what do you do? And for me, Ole is afraid to take him out. Ole is afraid of Ronaldo. So he stays in the game. Like today, he played all 90 minutes. He played the full game, didn't come out. And then he put Cavani up top with him, But maybe take Bruno Fernandes out. Maybe take Pogba out when he's back off the red card, and you try something different. Maybe a more free-flowing player that can 1-2 get him the ball. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do with Ronaldo. I think it's the same. It's kind of a similar predicament of what Chelsea are in with Lukaku. It's like he's a guy who plays up top. He's not holding number 9, but he doesn't do a lot of pressing. In fact, he does the least amount of pressing. Second to, I think, no, he's above Lukaku, but Lukaku's like a close second on fewest amount of presses. So, and you saw the way Chelsea played without Lukaku. It's much more fluid, much more free flowing, much more wing back. 1-2 balls kind of type of play. So maybe that's what they need. I don't know. The guy doesn't run a lot. So the Premier League's all about like hustling, like pressing and causing the other team to make mistakes. I mean, that's huge part of what makes some Premier League teams successful. So it doesn't mean every team's going to do it, but it's.
I think what you said is really key there, because if you look at Chelsea's game where they win 7-0, they were free flowing. We didn't really have like the standard 9 that's just going to kind of sit there. We've let go of Olivier Giroud, we've let go of Tammy Abraham, and we don't have Lukaku because he's on injury, nor do we even have Timo Werner. So we're just kind of like a bunch of dudes around 5'7" just running around really fast, and eventually something will happen. And if you look at City's game, it was actually the scariest City game I've ever seen. They were so good. And Brighton Hove is actually like a solid team. And it was scary. Like it was the only
that game was so scary, for sure.
Yeah, I only watched 30 minutes of the Chelsea game, but I watched that, and I was texting Nick, a guy who's in Dallas, who's a huge City fan, and he was like, yeah, when they play like this, they're terrifying. But they're doing the same thing. They're basically paying a flat back 4, and then they have 3 in the middle, 1 holder, 2 10s, and then they just have 3 up top. So you basically have 5 guys running around in a kind of a free flow, pressing. So even when you lose the ball, there's always a guy 4 or 5 yards away who can make a tackle or make an interception. So City and Chelsea basically played with false 9s, kind of a free-flowing 5 or 6 in attack. And I wonder if that is what United need to kind of do, just for a minute. Because get Sancho in there, get Jesse Lingard in there, take Ronaldo out, and honestly take Bruno Fernandes out. Sit those 2 down, and then just see what happens. I mean, Sancho is... The thing with playing Ronaldo, which is not good for the long term, is it's myopic. It's like we're trying to focus on this year, but Sancho is young and he's building for the future. Ronaldo has 2 seasons max, including this one, left at the highest level, because once the World Cup happens next winter, he's done. He'll be in the MLS, or he'll go back to Sporting Lisbon, or he's getting towards the end of his career. So for me, Sancho's like the long-term decision. And Ronaldo's a specialty guy. He's like a utility player. Like he should be just for Champions League and Cup games, until further notice. Because I don't know. But what's gonna what is United gonna sell Van de Beek in January? What do you think?
I keep hearing that we're selling Van de Beek. Honestly, I honestly feel bad for him at this point. Like he's not even getting any chance, any opportunity. But yeah, I do think they might sell Van de Beek during January for sure.
Is that to Newcastle?
Oh. I don't know.
Just even
honestly.
on loan.
Yeah.
Just even on loan. That's been rumored, and we've talked about that even before it was rumored, because it's just like he's a guy who probably starts on maybe the bottom 10 teams.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's not getting a run in the top 10, they could at least go Jesse Lingard. Sorry. They could at least go Jesse Lingard him out and make sure that like he is appreciating as a footballing asset.
Yeah.
Right now, at the price they bought him, he's not worth it because he hasn't played in like almost a year now. I think he was
cup games. Yeah, the occasional cup game. Yeah.
Because I don't even think he played. He was bought last January, right, Claire?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he hasn't played an entire calendar year. And I don't even think he played a lot this summer in the Euros and the Nation League.
Nope.
Jeez, man, that's
tough. And to think he was on the Ballon d'Or list like a couple of years ago.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was on the. I read it somewhere that he was on the short list like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was on like the top 50, whatever, and then they whittled it down.
Mm-hmm.
That's because he had that season with Ajax.
Yeah,
with Ziyech. Who else am I thinking? Delight, De Jong,
Tadic, I believe was on
Tadic, who's still one of my favorite players to watch because he's just so creative.
There's a couple of teams that Van de Beek could go to. I don't think, especially on loan, if don't want to sell him. I think they should sell him. They should just offload him because they got enough midfield talent right now. it's just not. It's not fair. I mean, it's almost like they bought him just so nobody else could get him.
Yeah.
It really does, because he was obviously too good to play for Ajax, so they had to get him off the books at Ajax, because that's just not Ajax's model. They don't keep guys around. So,
and the thing is, if he's too good for Ajax, which I agree that he was, I think right now he may be too good for United.
Right.
Because I think he may play a different style of football than the Ole kind of like very direct ball.
Yep.
Like I feel like Van de Beek at City, he could like swap him for Gundogan, and you wouldn't really know. Like he'd wear a mask and be like, oh, that's probably Gundogan. Gundogan's probably a little bit better player, but I'm just saying like maybe he doesn't even fit the football that they play, which is why he can't get in the first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spurs could use a player like him.
Spurs could use many.
They need a creative midfielder.
Yeah.
They need a creative midfielder. They just need anybody to come off the bench. It's rough.
Do you think that they take Van de Beek?
I don't think United would give Spurs a player like that.
Well, let's transition right there, because let's look ahead at the next week. This week, I mean, there were just like 2 big blowouts, a couple other decent games. Spurs.
There was a bunch of draws yesterday. There was a bunch of draws yesterday.
There was a bunch of draws.
A lot of points just kind of.
It was good to see Leeds win in the 95th with a Rodrigo penalty. That was really cool. But other than that, I don't really know. Arsenal did you guys
watch
Friday?
Did any of you guys watch the Watford Everton game?
No.
That one was wild.
But it's crazy because we said that Everton was going to win 2-1, and I remember saying Watford is horrible. So sorry, all the Watford fans. But yeah, tell us about why was it wild?
Also, Leeds didn't win. Leeds tied in the 95th minute.
I thought they won.
No, they tied.
Oh, they tied.
Yep.
Geesh. What was so wild about it?
Literally, first things first. It was pretty much like Everton scored first, then Watford equalized, and then Everton scored again. I think it was 1-1 at the half, if I'm mistaken. And then second half comes. Everton scored 2-1, and all of a sudden, in like the 70-something minute, Watford just like switches on, and Josh King scores a hat trick, and they end up winning 5. It was actually the wildest thing I've ever seen. Like I literally ruled Watford out completely. By the time it was like the 60th minute, I was like, "Oh, Everton got this. Like they could finish it out." And then like it just literally switched like that. It was so wild.
Everton's a much better team. I didn't watch any of that.
But are they? But are they a much better team?
Are they?
I think they are.
But are they?
But it's interesting how, like, if no
DCL, no Richarlison.
I think Richarlison came on.
Yeah, but not starting.
Not
fully fit.
I mean, as a club, I think that they're just a better club when everyone's fit. But obviously, injuries do play a role when the farther you get away from the top 4 and you don't have 2 or 3 teams. Injuries do play a bigger role. Yeah. But I'm just kind of like, I need Everton to play well. I made this bet with John, and I need Everton to play well. Like, come on, Everton.
Oh, you need Everton to play better than Arsenal.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like the running away from a bear thing. You just have to be faster than the next
I think
person.
over the course of 38 games, Everton will be okay.
I think over the course of 38 games, Watford is still probably thinking about relegation until the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fair, right?
And they look decent. I mean,
now I got to go watch the highlights of this Everton
5-2.
game.
I mean, I was like, Watford's
good.
winning. Oh, Watford's winning. Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
what happened to Everton?
Yeah.
He's like, Watford,
I'm like, what happened to Everton?
Yeah, Watford. Whatever. We need to watch that. But anyways, let's focus on the week coming up.
Yep.
Because y'all two play each other, bare knuckle boxing. Where's the game at?
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Oh, you have to say the whole thing?
I don't actually know. Is it at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is.
So let's start there. I know we're jumping
interesting
ahead.
game. No Pogba, but I mean, he didn't start today, so
Yeah.
who knows where he is on Ole's list? If Ole's not there, who's the interim manager? That's the real question. Or do they have somebody in mind already? That's the question.
Yeah, and Claire, part of my thing is like, if you bring in an interim manager, like they hire you, they're like, Claire, come over to Manchester United. It's a great time to hop in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not setting you up for early success. You could still have 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah, literally the next 2 months are brutal.
They're brutal because they're like do or die Champions League games. You play City sooner than later.
But you're already out of the League Cup, so
yeah, we're already out of one cup. So
there is that. When do y'all play City? And I can look this up. But do you have any? I feel like it's soon.
It's the next week. The next week after Tottenham, then it's City.
Oh my god! Because last year, as you know, the first time y'all played Tottenham, it did not go well.
It wasn't pretty.
Because if that happens again, and then if you play this City the way you just played Liverpool, This city right now, I'm telling you, they're one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
They will thrash us.
They're just kind of like all like Iniesta chip robots. They just play 1 and 2 touch and they move. It's honestly super impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're jumping ahead. Actually, we're not jumping ahead. Let's start there. What happens in this game, Claire, against Tottenham? What do you think?
You're not going to hurt my feelings. I have no
You
feelings
have no
anymore.
feelings.
I have no feelings about Tottenham anymore. I'm dead inside.
Your soul's dead.
Yeah, in the best universe ever, I feel we bounce back from this loss. If we don't, I'm calling it quits completely. I don't think it'll be like if Megan and I do win, I maybe thinking let's keep like a nice 2-0. Let's keep it there. That's what I think. I'm gonna say 2-0 United, assuming we come back and bounce back from this loss.
Who's scoring those goals?
Ooh.
Because last year Bruno Fernandes on the road was like automatic, but things have changed.
Where has he gone? That's the real question.
He's on vacation. He's in Cancun. His soul is in Cancun.
Last season was too much for him.
Yeah. He like went to Ibiza and did some like ayahuasca and he's never been the same.
Yeah. I feel like recently it's been always Mason bags one, Mason Greenwood bags a goal.
Score worldy.
Yeah.
Win worldy.
Yeah,
like 30 yards out.
and then
Top bins on Lloris.
Yeah. Mason would probably definitely would get on the score sheet. I feel like that's a given. Second goal, I mean, maybe a Ronaldo goal. I'm assuming Ronaldo's going to start again. But I hope that we switch it up, but I doubt. I feel like I doubt anything's going to happen.
So here's a big ask, and I'm really putting you on the spot here, but can you lay out your starting lineup and also like what type of formation you want to play?
Oh,
you can just do one or the other, or you could do both.
Okay.
And if that's too much, the third option is if we look at today, and I can read you off that exact starting lineup, not that it may not already be seared into your brain permanently.
Okay. I definitely would have started Pogba. I don't know.
Okay, so you start Pogba.
I would have definitely started Pogba.
But he can't play next week.
But he can't
play next week. So look at that. Okay.
You start Van de Beek.
No, I wouldn't start Van de Beek.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. But I would definitely start. I don't know where I would reverse this round, but I'm definitely starting Lingard. I've been backing Lingard since day one, and I'm still going to back Lingard. I think Lingard should play.
You got Lingard starting, and that is the only person you've told me that's going to start so far.
Correct.
De Gea in goal.
Okay. I'm gonna the back line. Honestly, do we keep the back line the same? Do we switch out? Honestly, I'm not against Eric Bailly. I know a lot of people hate on him. I'm not against starting Eric over Victor Lindelof. I'm not against that.
That's what I was going. That would be the only.
I'm not against that. I would put Eric over Victor.
Okay.
I think that would be the back line.
But the problem is, if Pogba can't play and you don't want to play Van de Beek, you're stuck with your boys, Fred and McTominay.
I'm stuck with the boys, friends. Okay. Do we get? Okay. Honestly, against Tottenham, I think we could put Van de Beek in. I really do think so.
Okay.
It would probably be for Scott.
I think that's good because
I would put
Fred played way better.
I was about to say I think Fred makes more of an impact than Scott did.
Okay, so far we have De Gea in goal, Eric Bailly, Maguire, and CBs, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle you have Van de Beek and Fred, and up top you have Lingard, and you're probably going to play Sancho because you were saying that.
Correct.
Okay, we still need a couple more players.
Do you play Bruno Fernandes and do you play Cristiano Ronaldo? That's the real question.
No, you know what? I think you want to. Sorry, you said Mason Greenwood. So up top you have Mason Greenwood, Sancho, and Lingard. So you're not playing Ronaldo.
No.
And then you play Fernandes in the middle, and then that's it.
This is tougher than I thought.
Yeah. Ole's job isn't easy.
Yeah.
He's looking around. He's like, can't play you with you, but I can't play you with you.
Yeah.
I think you play Fernandes, but not Ronaldo.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. No, I I agree. I would keep Bruno and I'd take out Ronaldo. Yeah.
I think that's really
I think
nice,
I
though.
think I'd run that.
I mean, that lineup's great because I think Mason Greenwood should always be on the field because I think he's one of the most positive United players right now. I
Oh
don't
my
think
God, yeah.
Rashford should be on the field, so you've taken
No.
Rashford off.
Yeah, I was about to say I do not want Rashford on the field.
Yeah, so you put on so in the back you've
Not
got
at all.
De Gea, CB's, Bailly, Maguire, outside backs, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw.
Yeah.
Then in the middle you have Fred, Van de Beek, and Bruno Fernandes.
Correct.
And up top you have Sancho, Lingard, and Greenwood.
Oh, you're playing 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
Yeah.
I think that's nice. Jeff, what do you think?
I mean, I think I want Spurs to win, so I don't have an opinion.
Are you but are you worried about that lineup?
I mean, nobody should be worried about a West Ham lineup that went out today, but they managed to lose to them. So
you
Spurs.
didn't answer my question.
I mean, I'm not really. I think it's solid. I think it's a solid lineup. I think easily could beat Spurs with that lineup, but I also think that Spurs could easily score 3 against that back four because Wan-Bissaka can be exploited. I mean,
correct. Yeah.
Lindelof. If you play Bailly with Maguire, I don't know if that center back pairing actually works because I don't think Maguire has been that good. If you play Lindelof and you stick with the same back four who just got thrashed, it doesn't it should have been without De Gea it would have been 8-0. And so Spurs have been creating more chances. I'm not saying they're creating a lot of chances, but even today Fabianski looked like freaking prime Buffon on a few of those saves, like a point-blank header off Kane. I mean, Kane's going to get a few chances. Son's going to get a chance. They're going to get behind that back line. So I'm not saying the Spurs are going to win. I'm just saying it's going to be close. It could end up being like a 3-2 game, 2-3 game, depending on how Spurs defense handles whatever mix you guys put up there. Honestly, think that Romero Dyer center back pairing is actually pretty good, and Skip's actually the best player right now on Spurs and makes those center backs really good. So I would be surprised if they gave up 2 goals, but
So what's your score prediction?
I'm going to say
You're at home.
2-1.
2-1 Spurs?
2-1 Spurs.
Claire, how about you?
She said 2-0.
I
You
said
said 2-0
2-0.
United, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I
But
mean,
we always give up a goal, so I realistically should have said 2-1. We always go down anyway, so I realistically it should be 2-1 because we're going to give up the first goal and then come back.
you guys are good at coming back.
You guys are. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you're the most points in the Premier League last year of behind points.
Yeah.
Which is really, I don't know if that's it's like good and bad at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking.
I mean, Spurs and United are similar in the sense that both fan bases there's a good portion of the fan base that want their coaches gone.
people already want Nuno
Yeah.
gone.
Nuno out
Oh,
is
wait,
a
really?
trending topic if you follow
Really?
Spurs. Oh yeah,
I did not know
out.
that.
Nuno out and Ole. That's deep in the lore. That's
Yeah.
that's deep in the lore.
So who do you think? I think Ole needs to win this game more though.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that Nuno was a trend. Nuno out was a trending topic.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
There's a lot of folks who are down on Nuno just because of his tactics, and especially those 3 games that we lost. It was a lot of them was just trying to play a 4-3-3. So, and that clearly is not the formation for Spurs right now.
I'm just waiting for other teams in the Premier League to play with wingbacks. When you do that, you're really not going to get scored on. You may sacrifice things going forward, but you will probably not get scored on. And I honestly think United could really do that well because Maguire has done that for England for years. Just sit in the middle, put Bailly
Who are
and
they gonna-
Lindelof next to him.
Yeah.
Oh, Bailly and Lindelof.
Yeah. Just
Can
the
play
whole
a-
idea is let's not
Okay.
let in goals. Let's not
Okay.
let in goals. And then you still got Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. And what happens is you just need to pull somebody out of the midfield, but that's fine because you're trying to figure that out anyways. Then you have Fred and Bruno Fernandes, and then you get 4 guys that get to go forward. I think it would actually balance them out better because I don't think United have 2 good center backs that are actually against Chelsea, Liverpool, or City will actually not get exposed many times. So I'm just waiting for them to do that.
Oh, United, sure. Like a team like Spurs
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
I think Spurs could do that. Why not?
They don't need to do that. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. They don't need to do
because they have
that.
Romero and
They
can
get
figure it
Romero
out.
and Dyer's.
Because every time Chelsea doesn't have Thiago Silva, we kind of have to do that, and it's just like, okay, everyone's fine with it. Because when we have Rudiger and a 4-back, my eyes are bleeding. It's like Casino Royale.
He's just getting turned.
James
He's like,
Bond.
"Ugh."
I'm crying blood tears.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving forward.
Let's keep moving forward.
I don't really like talking about Spurs. It's a very sore subject.
You don't like talking about Spurs?
No, not anymore. You notice the Spurs talk lately has been very minimal.
It has.
It's been very sad. I've been taking a lot of
dominant.
sad
All right,
naps.
let's go back to 7:30 on Saturday morning for all you East Coast people.
Yep.
This game is going to be going. It's Leicester Arsenal, and this is going to be a shout out to John Scheimer because John and I made a bet for 100 doll hairs, and the bet is as follows: if Arsenal finish in 8th or higher, I pay him 100 doll hairs. If they finish 9th or lower,
he pays you.
He pays me 100 doll hairs. I think it's a good bet. I like it. But that's where I need Everton to stop being shite. Anywho, John asked that we stop bullying Arsenal. And you know what? But here's the thing. He's right. We shit on Arsenal a lot in the pod. But we're also Chelsea and Tottenham fans. I feel like comes with the territory. But they have had a good last little run, and they're playing well. And it's honestly nice to see Aubameyang score. When there's like a player that's in a rut, it's tough to see. He's getting back on the score sheet. Lacazette is looking all right. But this game is going to be really truth or tell because they're not doing well right now against the top teams. And Leicester's a top team for me.
Yeah.
So Claire, what do you think on this game? Because Leicester's also in a weird season where they're peaks and valleys. They're not finding form. What do you think on this game? And the game is going to be played at the King Power.
Yeah, I still think Leicester's going to win. Off the top of my head, couldn't think of a score prediction, but I do think Leicester will win. I think, like the people they have Vardy, Tielemans, their new player Daka that scored four goals in Europe this past week. I think they have the Arsenal to defeat Arsenal. Sorry with the play on words, but yeah, I definitely do think.
You think they have the Arsenal to out Arsenal?
Yes. Yeah, but I do think Arsenal have been. I mean, this past couple of games, Arsenal have been doing well. So you never know. Maybe that trajectory just keeps going up. But I still think Leicester should hold their own.
Jeff, do you agree?
I think Leicester is getting back Vardy. I mean, getting back Vardy. Sorry, I will repeat that. I think Leicester is getting back Maddison at the right time to help them with their little Europe push. Actually, get out of the group stage of Europa and start winning more Premier League games. He scored today. He was, I believe, injured in the beginning of the season, so he got subbed off. So we'll see. But he's he's playing well. He's their number 10. He's moving things forward. Gets the ball to Vardy. Makes sure that things are moving up front. I agree. I think they're gonna come out and win. I'm gonna say similar scoreline to how they won today, 2-1.
I think this is actually, for me, it's going to be one of the games of the week because both these teams, I think they're in pretty good form.
Plus, they're home.
Plus, they're at the King Power. I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester as well. Sorry, John.
Mm.
I mean, North London. I'm not going to pick Arsenal to win a game
ever,
ever. Even Norwich, 0-0 draw.
Now you're crazy.
Now it's pushing it.
Now this is going to be if Arsenal were to win this game.
Yeah, it's not good.
My bet is looking not the best.
Yeah.
The next game is Burnley Brentford. I'm going to pick this one. It's at Turf Moor. But Brentford's been an exciting addition to the Premier League. So
I love watching Brentford. They're so much fun.
They just have a vibe. I'm going to go 2-0 Brentford. Claire, what do you think?
Yeah. I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2-1. Because I really like Cornet, the player Burnley's you're signing. I really like him, and I feel like, the 2 goals he scored this past week and was really good. So I think he'll score it maybe, but I'm going 2-1 Brentford.
I'm gonna say 2-0 Brentford. Brentford actually probably deserved a tie today.
Yeah.
A couple of Ivan Toney had a header that should have went in. They had another missed opportunity chance in the beginning of the first half. They probably deserved a tie. A little unlucky, but much better than Who were they? Were they playing? What did you just say? Burnley. Much better than Burnley.
Yep. The next game is Watford Southampton. These are two teams that are in the bottom of the table. Southampton is getting very close to Jeff's relegation prediction. And Watford are off their 5-2 World Cup win against Everton. So, Jeff, what do you think about this game?
This is a tough one. I want to go with my prediction. I'm going to say Watford's going to win, coming off a big W this week. And, keep that momentum going. 3-1, Watford. I mean, Southampton is not good. They're not.
Yeah.
And Watford apparently can score 5, so.
Yeah.
Next game, Liverpool, Brighton, Hove. It is going to be quite the game because I don't want to play. No one should want to play Liverpool with the form they're in.
Yeah.
And it's at Anfield, which I feel bad.
No, yeah.
Right?
It's a wrap.
No,
that's a wrap.
So what's the score? And you can be as liberal as you want with these score lines.
Yeah. Right now, I think I'm gonna go the same score. I'm gonna go 4-1. I don't know where they're gonna get this goal from, but I'm gonna say 4-1. I'm hoping for a Mo Salah hat trick for my FPL team because he killed it this week. But so
as is everybody.
If he's not your captain, you need to reevaluate your life.
Literally. I'm gonna go 4-1. I'm gonna go 4-1.
I'm gonna agree with that.
I think 4-1 is super fair, and it's tough because Graham Potter's doing great things with Brighton Hove.
Yeah.
And they've actually played pretty well against City, and they still lost 3-1. They actually maybe should have had a second goal to make it 3-2, which wouldn't have been reflective of the game because City just ran them off the field. But speaking of City, Jeff, the next game, Manchester City, Crystal Palace. It's at the Etihad. Who do you have?
City.
By how many? I mean, they're freakish.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 4-1.
No, I was gonna say 4-1 as well. Claire, is that?
I was gonna go 4-0. I didn't even think they're gonna get one.
That's probably true.
It's probably true.
Jeez, God, these games.
Dang, bro.
It's getting the next game too, bruh. Next game, Newcastle Chelsea. I will take this one. This is going to be at St. James. It will probably be another packed stadium. People are going to be excited because they have new ownership, but then they haven't really done anything. However, they may have a new boss by then.
Yeah, who is the interim this week?
I don't even know who the interim is.
I have no clue who the interim is.
Yeah, I don't.
They
I
don't
assume it's
really
like a
have
mascot situation.
It's like Maximin's just like yelling at players.
Yeah, Maximin like
He's a
has
player
a guy
coach.
draw straws. He's like, today you play stopper.
Yeah.
This is not going to go well for Newcastle because Maximin dribbling against Chelsea just not going to work.
Yeah.
So, oh man, this is going to be tough. Sorry, James, if you're listening. Chelsea 3 or 4-0. I mean, we have almost $850 million of players. So, sorry. I'm going to go. No, you know what? I'm going to go 4-1. It's going to be a motif, and maybe I'll put some money on this because every time we don't bet, we get so close with our predictions. So 4-1, Claire, does that resonate? Because I feel like
I was thinking 3-0, so 4-1, still pretty close. But I was thinking 3-0.
Yeah, by 3 goals.
Yeah.
Jeff, is that?
Go up.
I think we got to put.
I think 4 or 5 goals Chelsea has in them.
I mean,
especially if Lukaku doesn't play.
Oh yeah.
Especially.
I mean, Newcastle's defense is like objectively bad. Like just not even like a defense. They're not even. It's just a couple of guys standing in front of
it's like a couple
the
of
other
guys hanging
opposing
out
teams.
waiting for a bus.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
The next game is Norwich Leeds. Two teams. Well, Norwich is relegated. I know they're not mathematically relegated, and that won't happen until February. But they're dead.
Yeah.
So nice try, Norwich. You're gonna now enjoy. Like, imagine knowing you're being relegated and there's still 29 games left.
That's rough.
That's a rough time.
Everyone who plays them is like, this is easy money. But Leeds is right above
struggling.
Relegation. Yeah, they really
Leeds
need
are
it.
struggling.
So my hope is that Leeds win this. So I'm gonna say 2-0. But also Norwich, if you want to spice it up a little bit, why don't you get a dub, right?
Yeah.
Claire, what do you? Does 2-0 seem reasonable?
I was thinking 1-0. I don't know. I feel like the last game against Wolves, they really struggled. Like they had a lot of possession. I think they just struggled scoring against Wolves. I mean, Wolves defensively was honestly pretty good as like a collective. But I think Leeds just struggled offensively, just like piece things together. So I feel like they'll get a goal against Norwich. I'm saying 1-0, but I mean, it could be more, but Who knows what Norwich does?
This could be a bore. This could be a mini.
Oh,
bore.
yeah.
Leeds is the definition of a team missing a number 9, and they don't have Bamford. They don't have much. No Bamford, no goals.
No Bamford, no goals.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm only pulling for Norwich because they got Sargent on the team.
It's true.
And,
true.
And I just want to see that guy succeed, but it looks like he's going back down to the championship, which is fine for him. He's young, playing championship, play a lot of games.
It's very patriotic of you.
They also are, just by like math, like just by odds and how the Premier League works, they probably are going to win one game this season.
Maybe this is that game.
Maybe this is that
Yeah,
game.
maybe,
You never know. You
Yeah.
never know.
Maybe
But I'm
they'll
not
walk-
betting. I wouldn't bet. Maybe I will bet, and I'll say Norwich is going to win.
I mean, Norwich 2-0 is probably like 1-30. So
Yeah.
might as well put a $5.
I'm going to say,
Lincoln on
but
it.
I'm not going to go that bold. I'm just going to say they're going to win 1-0.
Okay, so you'll
I like Leeds, but
Just
next
spice it up.
game.
spice it up.
Spice it up.
Spice
You know,
things up
add a little sass on. The next game is Aston Villa, West Ham. I don't even know. Like this is
I
like,
think
what do
I don't know. I think I think West Ham's gonna win. Based on how Aston Villa played against Arsenal, I honestly was shocked how bad Aston Villa was. Like Arsenal was good, but I was actually shocked at how bad Aston Villa was. So I'm gonna go West Ham. Maybe I don't know. I maybe 2-1.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think actually
Yeah.
West Ham, they're very good. I don't think they're like flashy team, but they're very well coached. They're a solid unit of players. They have a good defense. They have Declan Rice. They got, they have Antonio going forward. He's very strong. He always seems to just poach a goal. Decent on set pieces, organized at the back. 3-1, I think it's fair. 2-1, 3-1, I think.
I like 3-1.
But West Ham is definitely a better team than
West Ham's
much
West
better
Ham
team.
drop points here, it's silly. The final game is going to be potentially another game of the week because I think both teams, I don't know, they're
pretty equal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both just like not finding their footing. They're having they'll have a great win and then they'll lose a game. So Everton Wolves, Jeff, what do you have on this one?
I don't know. I think it all depends on whether they get DCL back. I don't think they are. I don't know what's wrong with him. But Wolves are a tough team.
Yeah.
I thought they played. I don't think they deserve to win the game against Leeds this past week. Definitely not. Leeds was moving forward well, but Everton's one of those a team. They'll come out and they'll play really well, and then they'll drop 5 to Watford. So, who knows, right? But I'm gonna go Everton 2-1. I think Wolves are still having trouble scoring goals. I think that's their big problem.
For sure. Claire, 2-1. Does that work?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Well, with that, let's look at fantasy.
Is Claire in our Claire? You're in our
she's
fantasy.
deep in the
I
fantasy.
Oh, you're in our fantasy.
She's
I'm not gonna
deep.
lie. This past week, I completely forgot about it. So I did not change anything from last week. Luckily, it didn't go too badly for me. But this week, I completely forgot about it.
No, but you're good though because you had Pogba as captain, and that's 48 points, which is stupid. So
Not Pogba.
Claire, sorry. Oh my God, Salah. Jesus. Well, you had Pogba too. I was looking at Pogba.
I
who
did
got
have
negative
Pogba.
2.
Yeah,
Brutal.
that was brutal. I also had who else did I have? I had someone on negative points.
Who else did you have on negative points?
Oh, I had Luca Dean from Everton. He had negative 1.
Yeah. He had a
I was
howler.
like, dang. Yeah. No, yeah, I literally forgot to switch anybody out. So luckily I still had Mo as captain. I kept that the same. I forgot to put Rudiger back in my lineup, so that I messed up on that.
9
But I did
points.
keep Tielemans.
Tielemans is a nice pick. I like that you have St. Maximin. That is like deep in the streets
Yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know what exactly my strategy is because last year, last year's my first time I ever did it. And I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, this year I still don't, but I have more of a clue than last year. And I used I forgot what chip I used early, but I used a chip so early. So now I'm like holding back, which now I think is the time I should bust one out, but I have not done that yet.
Yeah, I feel the same. I used a chip early, and now I'm just kind of like, I picked up Rafinha. Like I have Bruno Fernandes, but I'm going to drop him. I don't know who I'm going to pick up. I might pick up Tielemans because I think he's super nice.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. table's is pretty wide open.
The
between
table's super
fifth,
wide open.
Between 5th and like 12th, 13th, anybody who has 500 points or more, you're like right in there to get top 4.
For sure. The table's nice. And like Jamie, the leader, used to be about 130 away from me.
But Mac Bruce.
And now he's less than 100.
Yeah.
And Mac Bruce is caught right. I mean, Jesus, look at that.
100.
Wow, he had Cresswell, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He started
Mason Mount. Ooh, you dirty dog, you Mac. Yeah, so that's a super nice 100 points in a week. That's got to be. I mean, 100 points in a week, and
I scored 85.
The highest is 165. I mean, that person's ridiculous. So, okay, Claire, where are you? What?
13th, but only like
13th.
But anybody, like I said, anybody with 500 points.
Yeah, she's 10 points behind me, and I'm 9 points behind you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I literally had a pretty good week. I had 83 points, and I didn't even move. That's how competitive it is. Because everyone basically had Salah on captain, and then enough like tertiary points to kind of move up all in the same step.
Yeah.
Well, Claire, you know, if you win, you get swag and you get $50 hairs.
Yeah, I honestly, I think my goal was just not to be last, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm like, I'm just not gonna be last. Let me just keep myself a good cushion not to be last. But that is a great price.
I think who's ever last has to Venmo me $50, and then I Venmo the winner $50.
Ooh.
I mean, how are you possible? Ooh, Eric Chahone, Guns and Moses. First of all, how are you going to be last with a name like that, my G? That's a nice name.
Yeah, that is a nice name.
But he had Fernandez on captain, who only got 2 points because he had one doubled. Oh my God, we've never really. I don't think we've ever with a guest really gone in this deep on fantasy, but it's going to be a good thing because Jeff's right. It's totally wide open. Even by this time last year, Oz was like 150 ahead of everyone.
Everyone was just vying for like top 4.
Yeah,
just to be like in the top 4.
Oz was like blowing everyone out of the water. So anyway, I think that's it this week. We have. Is there Champions League this week?
Nope, next week.
Okay, next week. But well,
I think this week's the cup.
Yep.
That Man United's not in, so I couldn't care less.
Exactly. You are right.
I think Spurs drew Burnley.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. EFL Cup, we have Southampton. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Burnley.
Yes, you have Burnley.
We'll lose, but it's the Papa
West Ham and
John's
City
trophy
in
or whatever the
EFL
hell it
is
is.
gonna be nice.
I think it's still a Carabao Cup, but it's slowly turning into the Papa John's. I think in the like fantasy, not fantasy, in like Premier League 2, they play like a similar style cup, and it's called the Papa John's Trophy.
Well,
next year, can't wait. Papa John's.
Everyone's excited.
And we'll get out early again.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, if I were a top team, I'd be like, let's get out of this. This is so stupid, and focus on the FA Cup. Focus on the things that actual people would count as a treble. The FA Cup, the league, and Champions League.
Yeah, like
so,
FA Cup, at least if you win the FA Cup, you get in the Europa.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
I assume if you win Papa John's, they give you like lifetime pizza. It's like one of those things that sounds good, and then you're like, oh, it's like the third week of pizza, and I'm dying.
Never forget Eric Dyer got man of the match in the game that he ran off the pitch and
pinched one.
Dropped a deuce.
Yeah.
And then they put the man of the match trophy on the toilet as the
that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that's Spurs in a nutshell. Class.
That's it.
Well, Clara, thanks for coming on this weird podcast again.
Yeah, of course. Lovely to be here.
Love to be here.
All right, Jarrett. See you next time.
Ciao, Claire.
Ciao. Adios.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to the Boys and Bolos podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Twitch at Boys and Bolos.
If you'd like to be a guest, please reach out. You can hit us on any of the social media accounts that Jeff just mentioned, or email us directly at boysandbolos@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.